Hi folks, hope you're okay today. It's good to be with you. To everybody, I'm going to pray. Father God, we come before you today. We ask for your forgiveness, and we ask for your cleansing, and we ask for your mercies and grace. And Father, I just pray that you bless your word today and bless these thoughts, Lord, in your name and for your glory. Amen. Hi folks, hope everybody's okay. I'm just letting you know that I've got a debate coming up soon with an atheist called Bernie. He's quite well known as a professional debater, and he is a really good guy. I'm really impressed with the guy. I've known of the guy's work, and he's been consistent in showing standard of debate and culture, and I really admire that. So I contacted him, and because he's had debates with well-known Christians and some quite heavy-hitting Christian intellectuals, I felt that he would give me a chance because he's a nice guy, and I asked him if he'd debate me, and he's agreed to it, and he's going to give me a date at some stage, and I really appreciate that, Bernie, and I just want to thank you, and I'm looking forward to debating you. I hope it's on the resurrection of Jesus, because that's my topic that I've done a lot of research on, so I'm really looking forward to the debate, and I'm excited about it. But I just want to recap on my history with atheism on YouTube. And it's going to be an honest analysis of the atheist community online. And if you don't like it as an atheist community, I can't help it. I'm just being brutally honest. First of all, there are some atheists that I do respect online. The first atheist, the biggest atheist that I respect online that I've met is John McDropout. That guy, to me, really has tried to engage with me. He really has. He's really tried to engage with me, and then he's been really absolutely honest in his dealings with me. He does well research, and I just really respect the guy. I really do. Even though we've had some spats and a bit of drama, I just really respect the guy, and he's a credit to the atheist community. Another atheist that I respect him for his courage. I respect him for his desire to at least engage, and he's the only atheist who has tried to really ask about who I am, what influences me in my thinking, and that atheist is Cyrus Mind. He's the only one who I've ever discussed with who's taken the trouble to ask me what my position is and what influences me. The third person that I highly respect on YouTube probably has got to be Christopher Mouty. For those who are wondering what Tracto means, it means discuss. And the whole video is about the importance of discussion, the importance of free movement of ideas, the free flow of ideas, the importance of engaging, building community of discussion. So Tracto is a symbol. It's a Latin word, and I want it to be a symbol of those who really want to build bridges, want to engage, want to have intellectual, honest, vigorous debate and build bridges. This video is for you. It is not for the people who don't want that. the people who want drama, the people who want to character assassinate people continually without really getting to know them, without really engaging with them. Tracto is about discussion. Um, and yeah, so I really respect John McDropout, and I'm not just saying that. I really mean it. Um, and then Cyrus Minded, and then Christopher Mouty. Now, these three guys are not purer than pure. They're not holier than thou. They've had mistakes. John McDropout has had his little bit of drama. Cyrus Mind has been a bit unfairly critical of me without substantiating things with evidence. Christopher Mouty was utterly demolished by me and Tommy Hall. It was tragic to see it. It really was tragic, and I don't think Christopher Mouty has got over it even to this day. When we asked him about how much he'd studied Christianity and he couldn't answer it, he revealed to himself to be quite ignorant on Christian things. But having said that, he is consistent in his mission of encouraging Tracto. He's been consistent in that, in encouraging the art of discussion, and I applaud him for that. I admire him for that. The other atheist that I admire is there was a period of time, I don't know if it's continued, but there was a discussion group on John McDropout's show where there was Ozzy and there was a young man who wants to train to be a professor or a lecturer. And I enjoyed listening to Ozzy, and I enjoyed listening to this young man and John McDropout. So the other person is this young man's name. He knows who he is. Again, I respect this young man, and I respect Ozzy, although he is tainted a little bit with a little bit of drama. I do like Ozzy. I do like him, and I respect him. So these are just the four that really have impressed me. They're all tainted. They've all tainted themselves with politics and backroom shenanigans. But to have been consistent in trying to move away from the culture of, I would call it volatile decentralization. They've been consistent in moving away from volatile decentralization. What I mean by that is that they have moved away from just haranguing and being a culture of drama, and they've moved into healthy discussions. And Ozzy has done impeccable work in his discussions. John McDropout does really well. Christopher Mounty does really well, and and I respect that. I admire that. That's the positive side. The negative side is that the atheist community as a whole online did gang up on me last year and silenced my right to free speech. They accused me of mental illness. They contacted my doctor. They pulled down Atheist Examined, my YouTube channel, which had thousands of subscribers, thousands of videos. They pulled it down. They started 4 archive channels, so that an influence. They came out onto the streets of Manchester and threatened me. This is all documented in a video on an atheist show. They used a pseudo-Christian who wasn't a Christian to invent slander, and she's been exposed for doing that. They completely destroyed my free speech. So I had to calm down. I had to, and it was good for me because it was getting me down. It was making me ill because of all the attacks that I was getting from these people. So I backed off, and I just quietly got on doing my thing, which was good for me. And a few atheists like Cyrus Minded, John Dropout, Christopher Mouty were really good in still coming on and engaging with me, but I stopped making videos attacking atheism because it wasn't fruitful doing that anyway. But my free speech was stopped. I'd lost a major channel which was having a massive impact on YouTube. I lost thousands of videos. They created a Burnsian world of archive channels so that my voice was muted. At the same time, major atheists like DPR Jones lost debate against me. So they threw out slander about plagiarism, which really at the end of the day, all it was is me just using Wallace and not quoting him, not saying that I'd used him. But if you look at the sources that I used in that debate, everything is so they made a big thing out of that, but it was to cover their backs that DPR Jones lost the debate. If you look at the list of all the sources of the debate, they're all listed under the video, so impeccably listed. And I apologize that I didn't reference Wallace, but it was no big deal. An academic like me is using vast references. I mean, if you look at the references on that debate that I put under the video, it's immense. The references that I give are immense. So they just don't want to deal with the immense scholarship. That's their problem. So I mean, major atheists like DPR Jones lost the debate. Aaron Ra lost to me, and Thunderfoot. I went on the Magic Sandwich Show a few years ago and debated them, and I beat them. I totally destroyed them on the historical Jesus. I completely demolished them. And my paper on the resurrection, I was writing a book. They didn't want me to write the book. They tried to stop me writing the book. I put out a paper. They wouldn't deal with it. Matt Delonte said that he would debate me when the paper came out. The paper came out. I asked him to debate me. He made it clear that he would debate me. This was stated on Atheist Examined. He stated it categorically that he would debate me. And when my paper came out, he disappeared. But hey, the evidence for that he would debate me also disappeared because they took down my Atheist Examined channel. They've been spying on me. Atheists had locked my Atheist Examined channel into various analytic analysis programs. So there were atheists and others who were tracking my channel, finding out how many views I'd had, who'd been watching, basically spying on me. Alex Botton and organized a witch hunt against me and got countless atheists to make videos mocking me with mock debates. And basically it was horrible, really. So I'd had to contend with all this nonsense, all because I've got a degree in theology and I know my stuff on the resurrection. And no atheist of prominence ever has been willing to debate me. Dan Courtney, a prominent atheist, said he would debate me on the resurrection, and I was all ready to debate him. It was going fine. We'd agreed the debate and everything, and some atheists got him to try and get the debate on the New Covenant group. Now, if you know the New Covenant group, what would happen there is it would be me against 5, 6 people. So I pulled out of the debate. I said, no, Dan, I'm not doing that, because we agreed to a set way of doing it and you've changed the format. And so atheists say, oh, he doesn't want to debate. No, the truth is that Dan Courtney's video on the resurrection that he actually made, the scholarship on that video was atrocious. And that if we would have debated, he would have lost it, hands down. And so to this day, he's run away from debating me. The same with Aaron Ra. Aaron Ra said he'd debate me when my paper came out. My paper came out. He said, I'll only talk with you on the League of Reason. I went to the League of Reason and I found that as we started to discuss, hundreds of atheists were on there, putting videos on and mocking. And Aaron Ra just threw abuse at me. He said, I couldn't do I'm like a person with no thumbs who can't do up his tie. And he was insulting me. And I pulled him up about it, and he did apologize. But the League of Reason was not was just a blog. It wasn't a proper debate. So he dishonored himself by lying that he said he would debate me. He says that he would only debate me if I represent people. I represent a number of communities now. Still wouldn't debate me. Thunderfoot. So Thunderfoot and Iron Man lost. When I went to the Magic Sandwich Show and I debated them, they completely lost. They tried to hide the video where they'd lost. Ozzy debated me on the resurrection, historical Jesus. He lost the debate. He's never wanted to debate me again because he knows he would lose. I debated the atheist, the global atheist. He's changed his name. I went on there. I beat the guy, totally routed the guy. But then he's a nice guy. He's another atheist that I do respect. The global atheist is a beautiful guy. I like the global atheist. But I completely destroyed the guy. And then what they did is he let a load of rat pack atheists, these atheists that have been doing horrible things, he let them on. He let them on. And they just ripped. I disappeared. I'd gone after the debate. They just ripped into me and spoiled that video. That video was a really good example of me having a good intellectual debate and demolishing an atheist. A very nice, cultured atheist. And he really let himself down by letting that go. Then Christopher Mounty sent me a note and said, you know, Alex Botton wants to talk to you. Now, I went on to Alex Botton's show thinking that we were just going to talk. Unbeknown to me, it was a debate. He didn't inform me it was a debate. He didn't tell me it was a debate. He didn't organize it as a debate. And I gets on his show, and next thing you know, I'm in the midst of a debate where I've had no opportunity to prepare, where there was no moderator, where he gave a categorical promise he would not insult me, and he started insulting me, throwing accusations. And the atheist community, and it was atrocious, that debate. It was disgusting the way he treated me, and the atheist community should be ashamed of themselves. So I found that the atheist community online, they've slandered me and been exposed. The major atheists that did try to debate me disappeared because they knew they were losing. Aaron Ra, DPR Jones, and Thunderfoot. We had people like Jim Gardner, Alex Botton, and many others who were atrocious in the way they were dealing with me in disgusting ways. You had people like Cliff Jumper doing atrocious things like meeting me in Manchester, assault me. And I went through tremendous heartache and pain and suffering because of the atheist community online. This wasn't just a few trolls. This was atheists who'd lost the plot. And this wasn't just a few, this was hundreds of atheists. But fortunately, there were a handful of atheists that were decent people. And when I quietened down and I just left the atheist community alone, because basically they took away my free speech, a few atheists came to me and showed grace and kindness and support. John Dropout, Cyrus Mind, Christopher Mouty, etc. Now I've left the atheist community. I don't bother with the atheist community as a whole. I really don't find the atheist community as a whole online a community that facilitates Tracto, facilitates academic discussion and debate. I've never found any intellectual honesty as a community as a whole. The community as a whole has never dealt with my scholarship, never dealt with my arguments, never dealt with me in a serious intellectual way as a community. But I'd like to be a professional debater. I'd like to engage in a professional way, and I'm not interested in this. Oh, just a little thing as well. In the debate with Alex Bottom, he cornered me on the issue of light and said that light was a constant, but it's interesting to note that recent research on puts into question that argument that he was making. And so he lost the debate. But the point is that I want to be a professional debater. I want to debate in a professional manner. I want to debate professional atheists who want to engage in proper intellectual debate. I've got a degree in theology. I've studied under some of the best theologians in the UK. I've studied theology for many, many, many years. And there isn't an atheist online who could beat me on my turf. Not one atheist anywhere online could ever beat me in a debate on the resurrection of Jesus. And the proof is in this, that the atheist community never took that challenge. They never took the challenge. What they did is they silenced my free speech. And all the atheist bigwigs acquiesced in that. Matt Delonte, who said he would debate me. Dan Courtney, who said he would debate me. Aaron Ra, who said he would debate me. All of them encouraged and allowed the atheist community to take away my free speech. And only a few, like Mouty, John Dropout, and Cyrus Mind, tried to encourage me to allow me to have my free speech. We will only know that the atheist community are democratic when they pull down so they don't have to try and take away my free speech. When they stop doing the horrendous things that they did and allow me to debate people like Bernie, to show a fair, level playing field, to say, well, okay, if Jason is an academic and can show academic ability, we'll let him do it. We'll just let him do it. If he's so bad, we'll just let him do it and make a fool of himself. But as an atheist community, you can't do that. As an atheist community, you will do everything you can to stop me having a debate with Bernie. Why? Because you know that I will bring good scholarship and you can't take it as a community. You just can't take it. You can't take it. You can't take it as an atheist community. You can't face the fact that I know my stuff when it comes to theology and this issue. I know my stuff, and you can't face the fact that you haven't got anybody on your side who is qualified enough to take me on. And when I debate Bernie, I'll beat Bernie. I'll totally beat him. I don't care how much research he does. I don't care how hard he tries. He'll lose that debate. When he's lost that debate, I'll go on to Richard Carrier. And when I debate him, he'll lose that debate. And when I go on from Richard Carrier, I'll debate Robert Price. And I'll beat him. And he will lose the debate. And the reason why Bernie's going to lose the debate, the reason why Richard Carrier is going to lose the debate, and the reason why Dr. Price is going to lose the debate is simple as this. They are not qualified enough or scholarly enough to face me in a fair academic debate. Dr. Price's scholarship is based on old books. I know those old books. I've studied them at seminary. The books that he recommends, Gunkel and all the rest, I used to study them at seminary. I know the stuff that he recommends people to read. Richard Carrier, when he talks about the sources that he used, I've studied all the sources that Richard Carrier has said, and I've checked out his sources, and his sources are badly used. He is very bad at his sources. So these people, when I get to debate them, they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be totally destroyed. And if I get a chance to debate Bart Ehrman, he's going to get destroyed. Bart Ehrman is part of a certain school of thought. You see, the atheists and people don't realize when they think about Bart Ehrman and his books. I've got all his books. I've got all his books. People don't realize with Bart Ehrman that he's part of a certain school of thought. There's a group of scholars that have a certain thinking mentality. I know those scholars. I know the history of these people. So when I debate, if I debate Bart Ehrman, I know exactly how to take him out. I know exactly how to destroy him. Christian scholars have been too merciful with Bart Ehrman, too polite, because Bart Ehrman's scholarship will be out of date in the next 10 years. So I'm asking the atheist community, you totally failed to engage in proper scholarship. In fact, you were so bad that when I debated Aaron Ryan and Thunderfoot some years ago, I asked the atheist community, do you know who N.T. Wright is? Nobody in the atheist community knew who N.T. Wright was. This is the global atheist community we're talking about. Did not know who N.T. Wright was. You've totally failed as an atheist community to engage in proper scholarship with me at a serious academic level. You get away with it because you have an empire and you're powerful online. And you've been able to take away my free speech and stop my message getting out and try to make me look bad with hundreds of silly videos that you've done about me. But the atheist community goes through my historical lectures. Nobody in the atheist community goes through all my scholarly material and discusses it online. Nobody does that. But you'll make silly videos. You'll take old videos where I've been silly, or I've not been what I should have been because I wasn't in a good place. You take those old videos, even today. Hog Tie Champ, only last month in February, a well-known atheist, was having a show, and he took a video where I fell off a chair and stuff like that. And he took that video and he played it on a serious discussion that he was discussing. He didn't take any of my videos on the resurrection. He didn't take any of my scholarly videos. My videos, some of my videos, I challenge any atheist to controvert this. What, you know, for example, some of my videos are so well researched, and I really mean this, are so well researched that there isn't an atheist online, whether it be Aaron or anybody, who can equal me for research and bibliography. So, for example, I gave a lecture on homiletics. That homiletics lecture is probably one of the most well-researched lecture on homiletics online. And I'm not just saying it. It covers a vast amount of books on preaching, all of which that I read. For the atheist community to turn around and say, oh, it's plagiarized, that lecture was a massive research done on that. My own research. So it shows you how disgusting the atheist community are for saying things like that. Another example is my lecture on democracy. It took 6 months to research that lecture. And silly atheists saying, oh, it's plagiarized, when there was absolutely 6 months of pure research. One of the books that part of that lecture came out was John Stuart Mill's On Liberty. So what I'm saying is that I'm asking, I'm putting the record straight. Sorry about that. So I'm putting the record straight. Basically, let me do my academic debates with atheists. Let me prove to you that I'm not just mouth, that I can do this. Let me prove to you that when I debate Bernie, I know what I'm doing. The rest of the atheist community, if you don't want to debate and deal with me, then stay out of it, stay away. But let me debate Bernie. Let me debate other atheists like him who want honest intellectual discussion, and let people decide for themselves whether I'm all mouth or whether I can back up what I'm saying. Simple as that. Rather than a vast hordes of atheists doing horrible things to me, silencing my free speech and all the rest of it, just leave me alone and back off and let me prove to the world that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to defending Christianity. That's all I ask. If you try to silence me, if you try to stop this debate with Bernie, then I will have proved my point again. Because the atheist community as a whole have tried to stop me from having debates. They flip it around and turn it around and mess with your head and say, oh, Jason has pulled out of debates. But what they don't tell you is what went on. They don't tell you how Dan Courtney was dishonest and tried to get me onto the New Covenant group when he'd arranged it and when we'd agreed what we were doing. They don't tell you things like that that go on in the background. They don't tell you when somebody arranges a debate with me. They don't tell you what's happening on Skype, how people are threatening me or trying to intimidate me when I'm trying to debate somebody. They don't tell you these things. So as an atheist community, if you've got nothing to fear, and if you've got the best argument, then just let it slide, be peaceful, be calm, and let me be a professional debater. Let me debate Bernie in a professional manner. Let me have my debate with him. Because that guy, I respect that guy. I admire that guy. That's the kind of atheist that I like. I've watched this guy for years, for the last few years, and I've nothing but admiration for this guy. And if he debates me, it will be a great blessing to me. It'd be a great honor to debate this guy. But when I debate him, he's going to lose the debate. But as I debate him, it's not just about winning. I will truly listen to Bernie. I'll truly engage with Bernie. It's not just going to be about pet arguments. I'm going to listen to Bernie, see what he brings up, chew it over, mull it over. It's going to be a proper intellectual engagement. I'm going to listen and try and learn. But I guarantee that he will be under pressure if he debates me. The same with Richard Carrier and the same with Dr. Price. These guys, if they debate me, they're going to be in trouble. So I'm asking the atheist community to back off, let me be a professional debater, and let the people of YouTube decide whether I'm all mouth or whether I can do the business. I've got a degree in theology. It took me 4 years to get that from Manchester University. And I've studied at MA level, and I've studied under some of the best theologians in this country. And I'm not just saying it, I have. And I went through a difficult time on YouTube because I'd gone through a nervous breakdown. I'd had a breakdown, and then I came on YouTube. And so YouTube wasn't the best time when you're going through a breakdown. But I'm back. Jason is back. I'm me. And I have learned, I have become an expert against atheism. I've learned, I'm probably one of the most world authority on atheism. I studied atheism for 5 years every day, read their books, read their articles, studied them. So I'm probably a world authority on atheism. And I've become proficient in the area of historical Jesus studies. And I am an academic, and I just want the opportunity to debate someone and to debate people of decent academic standing, and so we can thrash out these truths and see which is the truth. And if you don't want to engage, then that's your problem. If you don't agree with me or you don't believe what I said, then that's your problem. If you're going to hold it against me that I went through a nervous breakdown and came on YouTube, then that's your problem. If you're going to hold it against me, all the videos that I made where I attacked militant atheism, then that's your problem. I am what I am today. I am who I am today. And I want to be, in my spare time, a professional apologist, conducting myself in an impeccable, professional, academic way. And I want to debate people who are honest intellectuals who honestly want to debate in a professional manner. And if Bernie debates me, it will be an honor and a privilege to debate him. It will be an honor and a privilege, and I hope I get to debate people like him. That's what I have to say. Let's do this with open, honest debate and discussion. Let's see who has the evidence. Let's see who's got the best arguments. Let's do it that way. That's the best way. And that's the way I want to go. I don't want to go into this murky world of Aaron Rouse and Thunderfuss, the murky world of an Alex Botton. I don't want to get into the murky world of these people. I just want to debate professional people with professional acumen who've studied and know what they're talking about. That's who I want to debate. So Tracto, are you for it or against it? Let me know. God bless you. Take care. This is Jason making a video about Tracto, about discussion. Now, I also want to just say one or two things to Christians out there. I just check my I also want to say, I also want to say something about Christians as well. About the anti-intellectualism that's around. When our Lord was conducting his ministry, he did not stop debate. He asked questions. He never closed down debate. If you look at Muhammad always closed down a debate. Whenever he quoted the Quran, so-called, it was to close down a debate. It was to stop debate. But the Lord Jesus never tried to stop debate. He was always involved in debate. When you look at Paul, he was always involved in debate. Debate is wrong if it becomes an end in itself, but we can debate, we can discuss. So long as we always bring it back to the cross, we bring it back to Jesus, who Jesus is, then all is well. And I think that the Christian community worldwide, the vast majority of it's anti-intellectual. I don't think we should be over-intellectual, but I think we're also anti-intellectual, and I think there has to be a balance. It says, give a reason for the faith that's within you. And we have to do that. I'm preparing for this debate with Bernie. Okay. These are the books that I've pulled out for the debate. All these books here. All these books. Yeah. I'm going to be reading for the debate with Bernie. So by the time I get to debate him, I'd have read most of those books. The debate's going to be in a couple of weeks' time. But by the end of a couple of weeks, I'd have read all these books. And then there's more books there. All these books, we're not talking like easy reading. We're talking like Bultmann. All these books I'll be reading to debate Bernie. Yeah? That's the kind of man I am. That's the kind of man I am. I love books. I love studying. I love reading. I love researching. I will study every video that Bernie's ever done. Anything he's ever written, I will read his books. I will read his articles, and I will watch every video that Bernie's done. I will know Bernie's position better than Bernie by the time I get to debate him. That's how much research that I will put into debating Bernie. I will not underestimate this guy. I will respect this guy, and I will not underestimate him. And I will treat him with total utter respect, and I will study everything that he said. I will read everything that he said, and I will look at what he's saying. I will hear what he said, and I'll chew over what he said. If he says good things, I'll give him credit for it. But I will study everything that he said, and I'll look at all his videos, and I will research him, and I'll be doing my research. I'll be pulling out my notes. I have notes that I've been doing over 5 years that I'll be pulling out, I'm putting together for the debate. So there we are. So after Bernie, if Bernie honors his commitment, the next person I want to debate will be Richard Carrier. So I want to say to you, Richard Carrier, if anybody knows Richard Carrier, send him this video. But I want you to know, Richard Carrier, that you're going to be next. That I'm coming for you, bro. That your Bayes theorem and all that nonsense. Nobody, no historian of any repute really uses the Bayes theorem for the historical inquiry. And if they do, come on, bro. You know, no decent historian uses the Bayes theorem to do the historical inquiry. This is you copying from Swinburne. Swinburne is a Christian philosopher. I really admire Swinburne. I really admire the guy. I love him. A great Oxford scholar. Listened to a number of his debates and read quite a few of his articles. Love the guy. But when he used the Bayes theorem to defend the resurrection, I do not agree with it. I think all it is scientism, trying to use quasi-scientific methodology to make your argument seem kind of more authoritative than it actually is. And that's all you're doing, Richard Carrier, using the Bayes theorem. You're just trying to make your esoteric ideas, these quotes of the ancient text that you don't actually quote in context, that you don't really reference properly, that completely intellectually dishonest when you're referencing things. You're using the Bayes theorem. It's just scientism. And I've checked your scholarship, I've checked your sources, and you're probably one of the worst academics in this area. And it's time you got called out on it. Christian scholars like Ona and Habermas, people like that, William Wayne Craig, have been too kind to you, too kind. It's time you got exposed for the nonsense that you're propagating. And I'm coming for you next. You're on my list next. I want to debate you, and I want to expose the scholarship that you've been doing that is not correct. And then after you, I'm coming for you, Dr. Price. I've checked your sources. I'm tired of hearing the same old arguments that you're making. I'm tired of hearing the same old books that you keep referencing. It's tiring because it's just, you're just rehashing old 19th century liberal ideas that have been debunked years ago. That's all you're doing. And it's time you got exposed. I've read the Guncles that you keep quoting. I've read the Guncles that you keep telling people to read. I know the history of Guncle's thinking. I know his methodology. All these people that you've referenced and you quote and tell people to read. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these. I'm tired of the fact that you're fringe scholars and you're trying to come across as a mainstream, and it's time that you were put back in your box, that you're not mainstream scholars, that you're fringe scholars. And I'm tired of it. So let's do this in a fair academic way. Let's start with Bernie, see how he goes. And then we'll move on to you, Dr. Carrier, yeah? And then you, Dr. Price. Okay, take care. Have a lovely day. Yeah, God bless you. Always remember, guys and girls, that the atheist community as a whole are put in a pretense. They've done everything in their power to try and demonize me. But if you take the time and you do some research and you look around YouTube, you will find thousands of scholarly videos that I've done. Thousands have been lost. Thousands have been destroyed by the atheists. They took away Atheist Examined, my channel. It was a very powerful channel, and it had thousands of stuff on and tons of scholarly material with massive research, and they took that channel down. And then they tried to cover their tracks by creating 4 archive channels and uploading silly videos that I did when I'd had a nervous breakdown and I wasn't at my best. And they tried to discredit me. But you have not been able to see all the thousands of scholarly videos that I did. There's a few, there's some around, there's a couple of thousand around still, but they're hidden away because the atheists have buried it under their stuff that they want to show about me. Because I'm a great threat to them. The reason why I'm a threat to them, because I preach the truth, I preach the gospel. They know I'm a Bible man, they know I love Jesus. And I'm a threat to them. They don't like that. And I'm strong now. I'm strong. I'm back to the old Jay. I'm back to who I am. And I'm just not going to be intimidated by a whole community that is intellectually dishonest. Well, there are a few people like Bernie who are a credit to atheism, and I admire them and I respect them. And it's those people I want to do business with. Because when I've dealt with Richard Carrier and Dr. Price, I want to move on to people like Bernie, because they're the people that I respect. He's the man. He's the kind of man that I respect. And there's some women out there as well. Those are the kind of atheists that after I've done Dr. Carrier and Richard Price, I don't want to go any higher, really. I don't want to debate anybody else of a higher. Maybe Bart Ehrman one day. Who knows? But the main people that I want to debate is Richard Carrier and Dr. Price, because I really feel that their scholarship is particularly bad. Bart Ehrman, in textual criticism, knows a lot more than me. What I know better than him is the historical studies, because his theories of textual criticism are rooted in history. It's a certain school of thought that has a view about history. That's the scholarship that I'm a master at, that he would lose at. His textual criticism, I can't match him there. I don't know French, I don't know German. He can read a text in French and German. But his theories on history, go into his textual theories. And that's where I'm a master at. I'm a master at the history of ideas and how they influence textual criticism, how they influence theology, how they influence philosophy. That's my forte. That's my passion. That's what I've studied for years. That is where he would lose. But I'm not after Bart Ehrman particularly, really. I'm after Richard Carrier and I'm after Robert Price. And then when I've dealt with them, I just want to deal with people like Bernie. I just want to have honest discussions with people like Bernie. And Bernie's going to help me to move away from this culture that will not let me debate. And I facilitate the opportunity to debate. So it's up to you as an atheist community, really, to just back off and leave me alone and let me prepare my research and get my notes ready for Bernie. I've got a lot of videos of his to read, to study. I've got a lot of articles of his to read. I've got a lot of books to be looking at, and I've got a lot of research to do. So there we are. All right. So thank you for listening, and God bless you. Yeah. So basically, put up or shut up. Do the business. If you've got the scholarship and if you've got the arguments, give me the debates and let's do it. Let's see who's got it. But the atheist community, and I'm telling you worldwide, will not deal with me in an intellectually honest way. For example, here's proof. Here's proof, yeah? I'll give you proof that they're intellectually dishonest. Matt Dillonty, Aaron Ryan Thunderfoot. Right? Those are some of the three big hitters. Yeah. If they're not intellectually dishonest, if they're intellectually honest, and if I'm telling lies, if I'm not telling the truth, right? And if I'm telling lies of all what I've been saying, let them three prove me wrong by three of them making videos announcing that they will debate me, give me the time and day that they will debate me on the resurrection of Christ, that when they debate me, they will win the debate. And if I'm telling the truth, they will not ask me to debate on the resurrection of Christ, and they will not win the debate on the resurrection of Christ. But if I'm telling the truth, if I'm lying, they won't make the videos. Sorry, they'll make the videos. They will say, no, you're lying. You're not a scholar. You're not an academic. You don't know nothing about the resurrection. We're the intellectuals. We know what we're talking about. We'll debate you and we'll prove you wrong. All this stuff where the atheist community tried to silence you is all nonsense. You're telling lies that the atheist community got atheist examen pulled down. You're telling lies about you were confronted in Manchester and threatened. You're telling lies that that the atheist community invented slander and then got exposed for doing it. You're telling lies about all this. It's all lies, Jason, that we created for archive channels to mute your voice. You're telling lies about Alex Botton, that you went on there to talk to him and he cornered you in a debate when you didn't even know you were going on a debate. You're telling lies, Jason. And we're going to prove you're telling lies. The way we're going to prove it is to deal with this in an honest way. Me, Aaron Ra, I will debate you on the resurrection of Christ. Debate Aaron Ra. I lose. Jason's exposed to being a fraud. Right. Matt Delonte, I will debate you on the resurrection of Christ. Right. Debate Matt Delonte. I lose. Jason Burns is exposed for lies. I will debate you, Jason, says Thunderfoot, debates me on the resurrection. I lose. Exposed for being a liar. Or you challenge me and I debate you, Thunderfoot, and you lose. And I'm vindicated that when I say I'm a scholar and an academic, I prove it by beating you on the resurrection of Christ. And I beat you, Aaron Ra, and prove that I'm telling the truth. And I beat you, Matt Delonte, and I prove that I'm telling the truth. So I'm willing to go into the arena and to settle this once and for all in fair debate. Fair debate. To prove to you that what I'm telling everybody is the truth. But if you won't even debate me, then anybody watching this video it's proof positive that these people are liars. Now, what they will do, I tell you what they will do as an atheist community. They will slander me, attack me. They'll do everything they can to stop me from having a debate with Bernie. That's what they will do. What they won't do is Aaron Ra will not step up to the mark. Thunderfoot will not step up to the mark, nor Matt Delonte. And they will stand back and they will allow people like Alex Botton, people like Fiona Robertson, people like Blue, these kind of low-life characters to abuse me, to insult me, to intimidate me. And that's all they'll do. But they won't come and vindicate themselves as a community in an honest way. And that is proof that what I tell you is the truth, that I'm a gospel preacher. I love Jesus Christ. I can defend my faith in the areas that I know best. And I'm telling you that the atheist community have been lying to you about me. And they have treated me appallingly as a whole, as a community. And that if they give me a chance, a fair, honest chance, they will be on the back foot intellectually. Now, if Bernie debates me, that will begin to show, and you'll see very clearly that the atheist community will be on the back foot intellectually. If he steps up to the mark and he honestly says he'll debate me. So it's over to you guys as a community now. You know, the writing's on the wall. This is it. This is it, my friends. This is it. We will know if I'm telling lies or the atheist community are telling lies. We will know if the atheist community move in a direction where they have academic debates with me and beat me, then I've been lying all along. But if the atheist community move in academic debates and I beat them, then I've been telling the truth all the while. And if the atheist community don't move into academic debates but retreat, then I've been vindicated 100% that I've been telling the truth and they've been telling lies to you. So it's over to them. These are high stakes, because if you go back to these horrible ways that you've been dealing with me, if you go back to those ways, I tell you this, you will never live it down as an atheist community. You will always be seen as being exposed. Always. You will never, ever, ever recover as an atheist community online. Ever. You'll never recover for what you've done. And I will be vindicated 100%. High stakes, my friends. High stakes. Because I'm back. I'm me, who I am. And I just want to live in a free society and have freedom of speech to be able to debate and discuss. Gotta go. All right, I'm gonna go. I've got to go pick someone up. All right, take care and God bless you.